Today I am going to teach you how to PvP in Fallout 76. I am going to try and keep this as simple as possible so you too can look like an idiot flying the sky, shooting at each other, and spending all the aid and ammo that you've been collecting for the past week. Anyway, let's get started. Under strength, you're going to need to have traveling pharmacy and all the heavy gunner perk cards. Under perception, you're going to need to have tank killer because somehow it works for cryolators. Or if you're not going to use a cryolator, you could use concentrated fire. That way, if their stealth boy ever runs out, you can bats onto their head. Life giver to give you just a little bit of extra health. Lead belly so you can spam as many quantums as you want. Cola nut to make those quantums work a lot stronger. Fireproof so you can have a little bit of flame resistant and explosive resistance. For the last perk, you can go with Sunkissed, which is gonna give you extra health during the day. Rejuvenated used to be really good, but it got nerfed. However, I like to use Chem Fiend. It's not because I'm trying to use less scans, it's because I'm trying to not have to go into my wheel as much and my Pip-Boy as much. On Charisma, you're gonna wanna have Strange in Numbers, Suppressor just to take a little bit less damage, Tenderizer so you can do more damage, and lastly you're gonna want Party Boy or Party Girl to triple those alcohol effects. For intelligence, you're gonna need batteries included so you can carry all those cryo cells, ultrasonic plasma cores, and fusion cores. Demolition expert so your explosive weapons will do a lot more damage. Stabilize so your heavy guns are more accurate and they ignore armor. Nerd Rage will give you a lot more AP and damage resistance when you're low health. Secret Service so you don't get bats as often when your step boy runs out. Dodge It will take your AP instead of your health, which will keep you alive very nice. And True Hiker so you can carry all those quantums and foods and other stuff that you need. I also like to use Action Girl, but only when somebody can share it. Under Luck, you want Bloody Mess so you can do a little bit more damage. You want Starch Genes so your mutations don't get fucked with. And finally, you want One Gun Army so you can make all the people outside of power armor regret their life choices. I also like to use Bandolier and Bodyguards, but only whenever somebody can share them. For your legendary perks, you're gonna want Funky Dud so you don't get fucked up by people who are wearing Stranglerheart power armor. Taking one for the team is huge, it's gonna make your enemies take more damage. Now for your third perk, you're gonna want Sizzling Style or Legendary Endurance. Now, even if you have 15 endurance and you buy legendary endurance, this is gonna give you a little bit of extra health, which is huge in PvP. However, if you don't have Sizzling Style, that might be the difference between you getting fucked up or not getting fucked up by flamethrowers. Personally, I think either way is good, it just depends about your preference. And then the other perks is just perks to be able to get more points. Do not get Legendary Charisma. If you get Legendary Charisma, you're not going to be able to use that Legendary Charisma towards sharing perk cards. So, do not get Legendary Charisma.
Please don't.
Now, the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need a good system to actually play the game on. Now, I don't know what the situation is like on PlayStation and on computers, but on Xbox, if you're playing on the old Xbox or even the Xbox One Series S or X, you're gonna get fucked up. Your Pip-Boy is gonna freeze and you're gonna freeze up and you're gonna get dead. You're also gonna wanna play the game at a low frame rate. That's actually gonna help you stay up a little bit longer in the air when you're jetpacking. You're also gonna want an explosive Gatling plasma. Now, some explosive Gatling plasmas are better than others, but an explosive Gatling plasma is an explosive Gatling plasma. Even a Junkie's explosive one, even though it's looked down upon, it's actually really good. Another gun that I like to use is an Executioner's Faster Fire Rate Cryolator. If they don't have any cryo resistance armor pieces, this is gonna completely shred through them. And the last thing that I like to use is a 2-shot explosive cryolator for the same reason, but it has more range than the non-explosive one. This, however, is optional. You don't actually need one. Like the Executioner's Faster Fire Rate is more than enough. The other main thing that you're gonna need is a good power armor set. Now, Assassin Sentinel They have to be Assassin Sentinel. The third perk, you can mess around with Explosive, Cryo, and AP. Getting a good power armor set for PvP is not that hard because there's plenty of them around. Also, you're going to want to make sure that the armor set that you get has a jetpack arm. Having a jetpack arm is going to allow you to have emergency protocols on your chest piece and still fly around. And then for your legs, you're going to want calibrated shocks. Now, if you can't get a jetpack on your arm, you can also get a jetpack helmet, but ideally you want jetpack helmet on your arm, and then on your helmet you can put on sensing array. Personally, I rolled on 3 characters every day to trade for this stuff, and then I went on Facebook and on Reddit groups and traded my way up to have what I have right now. Another option would be to find you a friend out there who has this stuff, but a lot of times they want a little something something.
Just because I pay you for your services doesn't diminish our friendship.
Enhances it, really.
Now, for your mutations, you're going to want to have just about all of them, except for the ones that are completely useless, like Plague Walker. And then you are going to want to take one of each serum for all your mutations, or at least all the ones that have a negative effect. There are some that you don't need a serum for, like Carnivore. Taking the mutation is going to nullify the negative effect of that mutation for 1 hour, and then you're going to be able to take off Class Freak, and you're going to be able to use those 3 points for something else. Now, you want to make sure that you have Empath and that your teammates have Empath. This is going to make you so much tankier. Now, this is also a good time to take a Big Gun Bobblehead because it also lasts an hour, just like the mutation serums. Now, for your food buffs, you're going to want at least 4 of them. Now, depending if you're a carnivore or herbivore, you're going to want different foods, obviously, but myself, I am a carnivore. Now, I am going to take 1 food for agility to increase my AP, refresh, and my max AP. I'm also going to get a different food to increase my max AP. Now, agility and max AP, they should stack with each other. You're also going to want a food that increases your endurance because this is actually going to give you more health. And then you're going to want a food that's going to increase your max HP, like this bloodbug steak. Now, you can also use hot dogs or fashionette sausages, but this is just what I like to use. Berry Mentats is going to let you see your enemy even if they're using stealth boys. There's going to be like a pink mist around them. However, if you're going to use Berry Mentats, you always want to use it before you take either Psycho Buff or Formula P, whichever one you're going to use. Psycho Buff is going to give you a lot more damage and then a lot more damage resistance. It's really good. However, I think the other cam that's coming up is better, and unfortunately you can only use one of them at the same time. Formula P is going to shrink the crosshairs of your Gatling Plasma and is going to allow you to hit more shots. Now, Formula P definitely is better than Psycho Buff. You will have to take about 3 of them every time though. Formula P is really going to help you hit more of those shots on target and then kill the enemy easier. Vodka is going to stack up really nice with Party Girl or Party Boy level 3. It's going to give you 75 health. The other thing that you can use is High Voltage Jefe. Now, High Voltage Jefe you only want to use if you're using the Cryo. It does not work with the Gatling Plasma, unfortunately. Now, the other alcohol that you can use when stuff gets really tough is sugar-free Nukishan. For your magazines, if you're going to be using the Cryo, Astoundingly Awesome Tales 5 is what you're going to want. This is going to stack up really nice with High Voltage Jefe. Now, all the magazine buffs last 30 minutes, however, they cannot be stacked. You can only use 1 magazine at a time, just like bobbleheads. Backwoodsman 6 is also very good. Now, Backwoodsman 6 or Live and Love 3 if you're a herbivore, but Backwoodsman 6 is going to increase all your food buffs by 50%. So if you were taking a food that was giving you 8 AP, for example, now you're going to have 12 AP. And the last magazine is the Hidden Gem, the Tesla Science 2. This is really nice because it will help you take 25% less damage against the Gatling Plasma. This is a good place to get quantums, and you also can use cherries and Nuka oranges. Also, you can get 3 Nuka cherries at a time, and you could usually trade cherries for quantums because people seem to always have more quantums, so you can always server hop and just get what you need here. To the right on my wheel I have Quantums, Canned Coffee, and Stealth Boys in that order. Now you can have your Quantums right there and you can use them right there sometimes, but you also want to have your Pit Boy set up to where it goes straight to Quantums. That way whenever you're in a really heavy fight, you can just press your Pit Boy and just spam as many Quantums as you need with the A button. And then Canned Coffee is just going to help you stay in the air longer. Here you're going to see what my build looks like with and without buffs. However, no plan ever survives encounter with the enemy, so let's see what the build looks like in an actual fight. As you can see, everybody on the team is sharing PERK cards, which is pretty good. These guys that we're fighting against, they're also pretty good. Another thing that I forgot to talk about, and I meant to talk about, but I guess I'm going to talk about it now, is legendary perks, Electric Absorption, and Power Armor Reboot. They are both bad. Electric Absorption does not seem to work in PvP, and Power Armor Reboot, well, if you're dying for a perk card to work, then you're also not doing good. Thank you for watching. Give me a like if you like this content. Maybe I'll make some more, or maybe ask me about something else that you want to know. Have a good one, and see you guys next time.